Hello. Welcome to kind of an impromptu edition of Fall Break at the Movies. Didn't really plan on going out tonight, but just did. Wasn't really thinking. Just kind of went, oh well, look at that. I got nothing to do, and there's time, and it's weird for a Sunday because I don't have to worry about being up in the morning. So just decided to do it. What I found weird is that for a movie that's had, at least as far as I can tell, very little advertising. The only advertising I've seen for it is trailers here at the Ridgeway. The theater was like packed, and it's been packed 2 nights in a row, because I remember I was here last night seeing Battle of the Sexes, and the theater was really busy last night, but almost everybody was here to see this film. And so I was kind of surprised by that, because I don't know, it's a small film, not a lot of publicity, and yet garnering a lot of attention. And I gotta say, good movie. I'm a little worried because this is now I've had now 2 pretty good movies in a row, and you get a little nervous when you start having those kind of numbers. You start wondering when the other shoe's going to drop. So this movie tells the story, if you haven't heard of it, of Queen Victoria, as played by Judi Dench, for the second time. Should be noticed, I did a little research for this review, and I don't normally do that. But Judi Dench has now played a queen 3 times. 1 time winning an Academy Award for it, the other 2 times playing the same queen. This is her second time playing Queen Victoria. And the film's really fun if you think of it as a sequel to Mrs. Brown, which came out in 1997. Anyway, Queen Victoria, who through kind of circumstance strikes up a friendship with an Indian Muslim servant who worked at Buckingham Palace, and he became her, kind of teacher and things, Indian, and the culture and the way of life and the religion and all that. I wish I could get more into detail about the plot, but that's really kind of it. The story is very similar to every unusual friendship movie that you can imagine. I said this yesterday when I was talking about Battle of the Sexes, but you notice when you see history pictures, sports history movies, or music biopics, or the unlikely friendship film, they all kind of have a pattern, whether that's the drama aspect of it, stuff that's been rewritten. I like that this one opened with this sort of thing. This is based on actual events, mostly. Yeah, I like that. I like that they're kind of saying, yes, but we're going to dramatize a bit here. So it hits a lot of the same beats, It starts out, how can these two, it's like a sitcom, she's the Queen of England, and he's a lowly servant. Can they get along? Find out this fall on ABC. Anyway, it starts out with that very kind of, fish out of water kind of thing, and then she discovers he's very interesting, and he helps her be queen and all that, and of course everyone around them doesn't like it because there's something sinister about the Queen of England being friends with an Indian man. Scandal. And they try to get in the way, and there's a misunderstanding, and there's a falling out between the friends, but then it all gets resolved, and they're back, and they win the day in the end. It kind of follows the beats, but not in any really annoying way. As a matter of fact, one of the things I liked about this film is that when it gets to that part where there's the misunderstanding or whatever, and the friends have to have a falling out, the falling out lasts for about 5 minutes, and then it's done, and then they get over it and they move on. It's like, and the rest of the film is basically Judi Dench being awesome as the Queen of England. And everybody in the house, all the servants and the other lords and all, of course, they don't like the guy, and so they keep trying to do things to her and threaten her with things to get her to get rid of him. And every time they do, she keeps elevating him up in status, making him higher and higher and higher. And that part of the movie is just awesome. You're just you get to a point you're like, don't piss her off, dude. Can't you see you're just making this shit worse? So it's a very simplistic story. Again, a story that kind of follows your basic movie beats for a story like this. But there's something very, very charming about the whole thing. And I can't quite, for the life of me, put my finger on what it necessarily is about this that really works. But it does. I think you can make the argument it's, Judi Dench. And, of course, Judi Dench is just amazing. She's a treasure, and gives that kind of what I call the cranky old British lady performance. You can see on her and Maggie Smith, they kind of play that. They're at that age now where they play the, I'm the boss and I'm going to say whatever I want to say. You could interswitch her performance with Maggie Smith's performance on Downton Abbey, and you wouldn't really miss anything. It'd be almost the same performance for both of them. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean it that they're both awesome and both play their roles so well, But Judi Dench is phenomenal. This Indian gentleman whose name I will mispronounce and butcher, and I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to call him Abdul, as his character is in the movie. The young man playing Abdul, very good, though I don't think they really gave him much to do. At least not towards the latter half of the film. The early part of the film, when he's playing a younger man, and he's experiencing things, and he's very excited to share his culture and his knowledge of the culture and all that with her. Then he plays that all really well. As the film kind of goes on, it seems like there's less for him to do, and he just kind of stands there for a long period of time. That's not a fault of him. It's just the way the movie's structured. And I don't know. I would have liked to have seen if he had a little bit more acting chops. The scenes he has are very good, and the scenes he has with Judi Dench are very good. And that must be intimidating, acting against someone like her. But yeah, I can't really give a thumbs up or thumbs down on his performance just because I can't really gauge it, However, a performance I can gauge, and this shocked me, this was amazing. Eddie Izzard, who most people know as the drag comedian, the really awesome, drag queen, transvestite British comedian, is in this as Queen Victoria's eldest son, Bertie. And he's freaking phenomenal. I did not know it was him. That thing where you see somebody on screen and you're just like, I know who that is. Why can't I place that person? And it's Eddie Izzard. And he's great. He's really great in this film. It's so cool. Because I love Eddie Izzard. Who doesn't love Eddie Izzard? Cake on death. And what was funny is that at one point during the movie, I can't remember what it was, but at some point in the movie, I was flashing back. They were talking about something, and I was flashing back to an Eddie Izzard stand-up routine. I think the Queen, I was flashing back to it, so maybe it was subconscious that I was connecting it to him, but, so he was great. The only thing I'll say, and again, you never know with, movies that are based on real events or, whatever, what really happened and what didn't happen. I talked a little bit about this in the Battle of the Sexes review. So once again, you kind of have this thing where everybody else in the house, in the palace, is treated very comically. they all their reactions and everything are just that very, you know, I swear you can see like the monocles popping out and falling, you know. And so Eddie Izzard's character is very, very, you know, cartoon villainous almost. And it makes the movie funny. I mean, this is surprising. I found this film more comical than I thought I was going to find Battle for the Sexes yesterday. This movie had more laughs in it than that one did. But I have to say, I wonder if maybe some of these people were not being represented as well as they could. Obviously, you know, but obviously, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, all that. True, but from the other side of it, you got to understand these are people who had lived a certain way for a very long time, and, you know, they had their prejudices and all this, and I'm not saying they're right, but saying that, you know, you can't expect them just to suddenly turn on a dime, you know, when a new element is introduced to them. That's not practical or realistic. So I wonder if some of these characters were not, you know, weren't being represented as true to life as maybe they could be. Because, yeah, it just seems like there was a lot of, you know, oh, the orthodox of this is most you know, type things. But, you know, that's a really, really minor nitpick. The film itself is just charming. And I don't know what else to say about it. This might be a shorter review. Every time I say that, I still go 20 minutes, but, you know, because it just has a lot of charm to it. And I don't know if that's just the time period and the costumes and the, just Judi Dench being Judi Dench and Abdul just being a kind of a very charismatic and very handsome person. But there's just something about this that you felt good while watching it. You know, it really, yeah, I don't know what else to say. Really, I'm trying to rack my brain here because I really I like giving in-depth reviews, but then again, these reviews run pretty long sometimes. I can't really find anything else to really nitpick about it, and I really can't find anything else to really say in praise of it. I think it's a standard, you know, uncommon friendship story, but really, really heartfelt and really charming and beautifully shot, and costumes were amazing and all that. So, oh, that is one thing I will say. I just realized this. They never had cinematic payoff, which I thought they were going to have. Very early on in the film, Abdul tells her about mangoes and how great mangoes are. So she says she wants a mango, which of course they have to get from India. And they get her one, and it's in a box. And before he eats it, Abdul kind of leans down and he goes, and he like pokes it, and he goes, "Oh, Your Majesty, this mango's gone off." And she just looks up and goes, "The mango has gone off! Get me!" And so you're like, oh, you know, you know, all that work to get her a rotten fruit. But she never got the mango. I just now realized that. I thought that was going to be like when they did the scene where the mango went off. I thought for sure that, like, because you knew she was, you know, spoiler alert, you know, she dies in the end. So, you know, I thought before she died he was going to get her a mango and she was going to taste it and it was going to make her feel better and all that. But they never got her the mango. And now that I think about that, I wonder if that colors my opinion of the film, because then I'm like, well, that's a plot point that was really left hanging. She never got the damn mango. Man, that's a letdown. In all fairness, aside from the fact she never got the mango, let's make a t-shirt with that on. She never got the mango. Anyway, a charming movie, and well worth it. Nice, quiet, fairly predictable, but not so much that it ruins the effect. So I say if you're a fan of these costume dramas and all that, I say check this one out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Best film of the year, best actor nods, I don't think so. But a really beautifully told, fun little story. Yeah, definitely. So that's all I've got for this one. So, but be looking. I'm probably not going to the films tomorrow, but Tuesday, I plan on seeing My Little Pony, and I'm bringing my friend Marianne, who's getting married at the end of the week. So we're actually, by this time next week, she'll have been married for almost 24 hours. So she's gonna go with me to be my pony beard, and she's gonna do the review with me again. And so I'm really looking forward to that. We had a really good time with American Assassin. So I hope you'll join me for that. And until then, drive safe, and I'll see you at the movies.